What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Monday, November 9th, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Hopefully everyone had a fantastic weekend. Although hundreds of protesters gathered outside Saturday Night Live's New York studio to oppose the decision to let controversial Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump serve as guest host, the show went on as planned. Trump noted in his opening monologue, "This is going to be something special. Many of the greats have hosted, as you know, this show, like me in 2004. He also added by saying, "A lot of people are saying, Donald, you're the most amazing guy. You're brilliant. You're handsome. You're rich. You have everything going. The world is waiting for you to be president. So why are you hosting Saturday Night Live? Why?" And the answer is, "I have really nothing better to do." He also added by saying, "People think I am controversial, but the truth is I am a nice guy. I don't hold grudges against anybody," like Rosie O'Donnell. She said some things about me that were unhurtful and untrue. I said some things about her that were mean, but completely accurate. The fact is, when I showed up for rehearsal, Rosie was there to support me. Come on out, Rosie." Brian lamented, "Sir, as I have told you several times, my name is Addie Bryan, and I'm a cast member on the show." Trump asked the crowd, "Isn't she great? She just seems like a really totally different person. Part of the reason I am here is that I know how to take a joke. They've done so much to ridicule me over the years. The show has been a disaster for me." Trump was then joined on stage by SNL regulars Taryn Killian and Daryl Hammond, who both offered their best Donald Trump impression, after which comedian Larry David made a surprise appearance, yelling, "You're a racist. Trump's a racist." Trump wanted to know, "It's Larry David. What are you doing, Larry?" David replied with a shrug, "I heard if I yelled that, they'd give me $5,000. Trump remarked, "As a businessman, I can fully respect that. That's okay." Oscar winner Halle Berry sat down to discuss life after divorce in her first interview since splitting from her husband of 2 years, Olivier Martinez. Speaking to Extra during an event benefiting the Genesee Center Inc. Thursday, the 49-year-old Academy Award-winning actress assured her interviewer she was in a good place. She said, "I'm doing okay. I really am. I keep pushing, and I'm really happy to be here because wherever you're going through in anything in life, when you step outside yourself and focus on others, that's always the best remedy for any situation that you'd rather not be dealing with." News broke of Berry's divorce last month when she and French actor Martinez released a joint statement announcing their decision. The statement released on October 27th said, "We move forward with love and respect for one another and the shared focus of what is best for our son. We wish each other nothing but happiness in life, and we hope that you respect ours and, most importantly, our children's privacy as we go through this difficult period." Berry is the mother of 2 children, including her daughter Nahlia, 7, and son Maceo, 1. Over the Halloween weekend, the X-Men actress revealed her baby Maceo was unable to partake in the holiday celebration due to a bout with chickenpox, but she did dress up as a pirate for her kids. She says, "He was a bee and Nyla was a zombie cheerleader, and we had a great time. I was a pirate." Universal has named actress Chloe Moretz as the star of its live-action retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid. The fairy tale flick is still in its early stages, with a still unplanned release date and ongoing search for a screenwriter, Variety reported Friday. Under its working title, The Little Mermaid is produced by Tim Bevan and Eric Fendler. Earlier this year, the Lost in Translation director Sofia Coppola left the new project, citing creative differences with Universal. The Wrap reported Coppola desired to cast a generally unknown actress for the starring role, while Universal insisted on a more established star. Love Actually writer Richard Curtis is reportedly in negotiations to pen the script, which may or may not strictly follow Anderson's classic tale. Jennifer Lawrence arrived at London's premiere event of Mockingjay Part 2 Thursday in a Dior couture gown held together by dainty gold chains. The American actress, 25, joined her Hunger Games co-star Natalie Dormer, Liam Hemsworth, Julianne Moore, Josh Hutcherson, Elizabeth Banks, Woody Harrelson, and more at the Thursday night premiere at the Odin Leicester Square. Just the night before, the cast attended the first ball of the franchise's final installment in Berlin, attended by at least 6,000 fans. After finishing an interview on the London red carpet, a platinum blonde Lawrence attempted to kiss co-star Dormer on the cheek during her own conversation with the press. An awkward turn of the head accidentally caused the two actresses to kiss on the lips in front of the journalists. Lawrence gasped, "Oh my God, we just kissed on camera and I liked it." Dormer, who plays Cressida in Mockingjay Part 1 and Mockingjay Part 2, wore a draped black and white en rouge Perium gown and her hair loose with an exaggerated part to attend the outdoor event. She laughed off the accidental kiss from Lawrence and continued her interview unfazed, telling ODE she was never good at Monopoly. Arrested Development and Horror Bosses actor Jason Bateman has joined the cast of Felt, the Watergate-themed historical thriller starring Liam Neeson and Diane Lane. Felt follows the story of the whistleblower known as Deep Throat. A synopsis says the true identity of the secret informant remains a mystery and source of much public curiosity and speculation for more than 30 years. That is, until 2005, Special Agent Mark Felt shockingly revealed himself as the tipster. This unbelievable true story chronicles the personal and professional life of the brilliant and uncompromising Felt, who risked and ultimately sacrificed everything: his family, his career, his freedom, in the name of justice. Bateman will play FBI agent and Felt's Lieutenant Charlie Bates, who discovers Felt is leaking classified information on the Watergate investigation and is conflicted about whether to destroy his mentor or protect him. Peter Landsman wrote the screenplay for the movie and is set to direct and produce it. Principal photography is to begin in March. Deadpool director Tim Miller says the hero at the center of his film will be attracted to people of any sex or gender identity. Asked if the character will be hypersexualized, Miller told Codier.com, "Pansexual, I want that quoted, pansexual Deadpool." The Deadpool portrayer, Ryan Reynolds, added, "There's some sexuality in this movie for sure. You kind of think you have moments when you're shooting where you think, this is a little excessive. This is a comic book movie. Are we going to get away with this?" But so far, so good. Studio hasn't crushed us with anything. They were here yesterday. They were thrilled. I saw some cut footage, and so far, so good. We did a photo shoot for an entire day of just differently, completely insane things that Deadpool is doing, and there's a lot more to come. They'll be slowly released. The Marvel comic book adaptation is set to open in theaters February 12th. It will co-star Morena Baccarin, Ed Sheeran, T.J. Miller, and Gina Carano. Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens released a new international trailer starring Daisy Ridley on Friday. The 23-year-old English actress takes center stage as Rey, a scavenger, some believed to be the daughter of Han Solo, played by Harrison Ford, and Princess Leia, played by Carrie Fisher. The preview sees the character team up with the stormtrooper Finn, played by John Boyega, and come face to face with the villain Kylo Ren, Adam Driver. Chewbacca and X-Wing pilot Poe Dameron, played by Oscar Isaac, are also shown. Ridley recently told The Hollywood Reporter of Rey she faces a lot of challenges throughout the film, and the way she reacts to things I think is the kind of way anyone would. That's why I think she's so universal and brilliant. She's frightened, but she faces up to what she needs to. She's brave and smart, and you see an entire emotional spectrum of her throughout the film, she added. She's not a superhero, she's just a normal girl thrust into extraordinary circumstances, so it's very relatable. It's an emotional story about a girl on a journey, but the story is a lot more than that. Star Wars The Force Awakens is directed by Star Trek reboot helmer J.J. Abrams and is opening on December 15th. Mark Hamill also stars as Luke Skywalker, with Lupita Nyong'o as the pirate Maze, Andy Serkis as Kylo Ren's master, and Domhnall Gleeson as General Hux. Sinbad is recovering after having major back surgery this week. The 58-year-old actor and comedian updated fans on social media after going to 10-hour spinal fusion surgery Tuesday. He captioned a photo from his hospital bed Wednesday. Surgery was good last night. Double fusion for the back, 10 hours. He followed up Thursday by saying, "Thanks everyone for their prayers. I shall be back up soon. This surgery was no joke." Spinal fusion surgery essentially welds two or more vertebrae together to alleviate back pain. Sinbad didn't reveal the cause for his surgery, but the actor should be feeling better in the next few days. Sinbad is known for such films as Jingle All the Way, First Kid, and Good Burger, and starred in numerous HBO comedy specials. Burt Reynolds and Sally Field were Hollywood's it couple for years, starring in several movies together while dating, including The End, Hopper, Smokey and the Bandit, and its sequel. Decades later, Reynolds believes the two still could have made magic happen. Upon the release of his new book, But Enough About Me, a memoir out November 17th, the legendary actor sat down with Vanity Fair at his Florida home and revealed the regrets from his past that have haunted him for years. Though he experienced some financial woes, according to Entertainment Tonight, Reynolds believes the one thing that caused him the most is women. Reynolds says Sally Field is the love of my life, even though the two haven't been together for over 30 years. Reynolds and Fields dated in the 1970s and broke up in the early 1980s. He said, I miss her terribly. Even now it's hard on me. I don't know why I was so stupid. Men are like that, you find the perfect person and then you do everything you can to screw it up. In regards to his finances, Reynolds said what upset him the most is when people make assumptions about his financial stability. He recalls the bankruptcy rumors that spread after his 2014 Las Vegas auction. He said during the interview, that's one of the rare things that does piss me off. I'm not bankrupt by any means. I'm not even worried about it. The 79-year-old star admitted his role in some of the financial troubles he experienced in the 1990s, saying he, quote, trusted the wrong people with my money. But when asked by what his biggest regret is, he says, I would have to spend more money and had a lot of more fun. Johnny Depp is to lend his voice to the titular sleuth in the upcoming animated movie Sherlock Gnomes, which is a follow-up to the 2011 blockbuster Romeo and Juliet. Variety reported Romeo and Juliet stars Jay McAvoy and Emily Blunt will reprise their roles in the Depp film, which is scheduled to be released by Paramount Animation and MGM on January 12, 2018. To be directed by John Stevenson and produced by Elton John's Rocket Pictures, the movie is about a detective trying to solve the mystery of garden gnomes' disappearances in London. Depp's other animated movie includes Rango and Corpse Bride. Philadelphia Mayor Michael A. Nutter has proclaimed November 25th Creed Day in honor of the release of the next installment in the Rocky Balboa boxing saga. Nutter this week announced the news on the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum, where he stood alongside the movie stars Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan, and Tessa Thompson, as well as writer-director Ryan Coogler and producer Irwin Winkler. For Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's Pictures, Warner Brothers Pictures, and New Line Cinema, the movie reunites Coogler with his Fruitvale station star Jordan. Creed is opening in theaters November 25th. A synopsis says, Adonis Johnson never knew his famous father, world heavyweight champion Apollo Creed, who died before he was born. Still, there is no denying that boxing is in his blood, so Adonis heads to Philadelphia, the site of Apollo Creed's legendary match with a tough upstart named Rocky Balboa. Jordan plays Adonis while Stallone reprises his iconic role of Rocky. A passing to report, Texas Chainsaw Massacre icon Gunnar Hansen died of pancreatic cancer this weekend at his home in Maine, where he lived for about 40 years. He was 68. The Bangor Daily News said Hansen's agent, Mike Estenstad, confirmed the Icelandic actor, writer, and producer's death on Saturday. Best known for playing the villain Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 1974, Henson penned a 2013 memoir called Chainsaw Confidential about his experiencing in making the classic horror movie. Enestad said Hansen had been working on the film Death House when he died. Hansen survived by Betty Tower, his partner of 13 years. Irish-born screen icon Maureen O'Hara is to be buried with her husband Monday in Virginia's Arlington National Cemetery. The quiet man and Miracle on 34th Street star died on October 24th at her home in Idaho. She was 95. The Irish Independent said she will be laid to rest beside her late husband, U.S. Air Force officer and World War II hero Lieutenant Colonel Charles Blair, who died in a plane crash in the Caribbean in 1978. The actress reportedly said shortly before she died that she wanted to be buried with her husband. Her funeral is set up for Monday morning, and interment will take place that afternoon. Among O'Hara's many other filmed classics were Jamaica Inn, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, How Green Was My Valley, The Spanish Main, Rio Grande, and Against All Flags. The actress was presented with an honorary Oscar for her body of work in 2014. British pop rock group Coldplay has released the latest single from their 7th studio album, A Head Full of Dreams, out December 4th. The new song, Adventures of a Lifetime, is the first revealed track from Dreams, which the band boasted featured collaborations with the likes of Beyoncé, Noel Gallagher, Tolove, and Mary Clayton. An 11-track A Head Full of Dreams follows up Coldplay's sixth album, 2014's Ghost Stories. The band's website describes the new album as one bursting with energy, color, and big, life-affirming moments. The tracks list include Hymn for the Weekend, Everglow, and Amazing Day. Pre-ordering is available starting Friday. Dreams was produced by Norwegian duo Stargate and freaking music-making partner Rick Sampson. Coldplay is represented by Parlophone and Atlantic Records. Adele performed her latest single, Hello, on stage Monday for her first televised appearance since 2013. BBC One released its first teaser for Adele at the BBC Friday, in which Adele is seen singing the first single from her upcoming album 25 on stage with her live band. The 27-year-old entertainer was also to be interviewed by Graham Norton to discuss her personal life and newest projects. Adele said of the special event, which will air on the BBC One on November 20th, I can't wait for the show. The BBC has been wonderful to me over the years, and Graham and I get on great, so it's going to be a laugh. The brief teaser features Adele discussing her thoughts before embarking on her latest and highly anticipated record. She said, it was that thing of, or do I want to go back to my music? It was like, obviously I do, and I just wanted to make sure everything was in place so I can do it properly. I can't do anything else. That is all I like doing. The televised event marks the singer-songwriter's first broadcast performance in singing Skyfall at the 2013 American Academy Awards. That year, the James Bond theme won the award for Best Original Song for the film of the same name. Madonna has performed in front of over 300,000 fans in the first 2 months of her Rebel Heart tour and earned about $46 million in box office sales so far, landing the top spot of this week's Hot Tourist list for Billboard. The superstar's current world tour, still in its early stages in North America, has hit 20 cities in Europe, Asia, and Australia, is still in store. Madonna's first show this year took place in Montreal in September. Madonna's highest grossing event so far took place at New York's Madison Square Garden in mid-September, earning $5.2 million in 2 nights. A total of 28,371 fans attended the Garden shows, Billboard reports, making them the largest of the tour so far. Madonna's world tour and staggering box office sales have the ability to overshadow that of Taylor Swift and her ongoing 1989 tour, putting them both in the run for the title of the highest paid next year. Forbes announced this week, however, that Katy Perry is this year's highest paid woman in the industry, making $135 million thanks to her prismatic tour and marketing deals. Swift came in second with $80 million, while Madonna was missing from the top 5 spot. The Rebel Tour is Madonna's 10th world tour in her long-standing music career. Her highest-grossing tour and one of the top-grossing of all time is the Sticky and Sweet Tour, which earned $408 million between 2008 and 2009. Will Smith is planning a proper concert tour with longtime music collaborator DJ Jazzy Jeff, he confirmed. During an appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show, the father of 3 said Thursday he was never able to go on tour during the 1980s and 90s when both his acting and music career were taking off. Following the release of Fiesta, the concussion actor believes it's time to properly promote his music. He told host DeGeneres, "We never actually had the chance to go out and do a full tour. So we released our first record in 1986. Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble was our first record, but by 1990 I was already on the Fresh Prince. So in that time we were getting started, and I never actually had a chance to go on tour. So I really want to get out there and do it for real." Smith first mentioned his intentions to go on a world tour in early October during an interview with Zane Lowe on Beats One Radio. Smith says that he was pretty certain a tour with Jazzy Jeff will happen soon. Despite his stash of recorded music and drive to return to the industry, Smith at the time confessed he was terrified with going on tour, but his children gave him the confidence to do so. Maroon 5 announced a new tour for 2016 on Thursday. Frontman Adam Levine and bassist Mickey Madden will embark on a North American tour with Tolove, Our City, and Phases in September 2016. Tickets will go on sale November 14th. Maroon 5 will kick off the tour September 3rd in San Antonio, Texas, and bring the venue to a close October 16th in Oakland, California. The group is presently on the 8th leg of their Maroon 5 tour, which will end March 1st, 2015, in Mexico City, Mexico. The band today consists of Levine Madden, Jesse Carmichael, James Valentine, Matt Flynn, and PJ Morton, and last released V in August 2014. The album debuted at number 1 and on the Billboard 200 albums charts and included hit singles Maps and Animals. The Eagles have postponed their Kennedy Center Honors Ceremony to 2016. The Kennedy Center announced the news in a press release Wednesday, with the rock band citing singer Glenn Frey's health as the reason for the deferment. The group said Mr. Frey has a recurrence of previous intestinal issues, which will require major surgery and a lengthy recovery period. The Kennedy Center has graciously agreed to postpone the Eagles Award presentation until next year. Kennedy Center President Deborah Rutter said, "We send our best wishes to Glenn for a swift and full recovery. It felt only right to defer bestowing this extraordinary honor to the group when Glenn could also be in attendance." Frey, Don Henley, Joe Walsh, and Timothy B. Schmidt were slated to receive the honor December 6th. The annual ceremony, which recognizes achievements in the performance arts, will laud Carole King, George Lucas, Rita Moreno, Shiji Zoawa, and Cicely Tyson this year. Frey and Henley co-founded the Eagles in 1971 and released their studio album Eagles with the band in 1972. The group is known for such hits as Lion Eyes and Hotel California, and last released Long Road Out of Eden in 2007. Legendary musician Bob Dylan and Sony Records have launched a new website, Studio A Revisited, which allows fans to remix Dylan's classic single Like a Rolling Stone. The website was launched on Friday to highlight the release of Dylan's new deluxe set, the Bootleg Series Volume 12, The Cutting Edge, 1965 to 1966. The 6-disc set examines the making of 3 of Dylan's most memorable LPs, Bringing On Back Home, Highway 61 Revisited, and Blonde on Blonde. During the recording session for those albums, Dylan recorded multiple takes for each song live and experimented with different sounds before settling on a final take. Now with Studio A Revisited, those alternative recording sessions are available for fans to experience and remix into Like a Rolling Stone. Cam Mizurajalo said, "The way Dylan recorded those 3 albums, it was very immediate." Who is the digital creative director at Havas Worldwide, which worked with Sony to produce the site, Wired reported. He said, "We want to create that studio experience and carry on some of that spontaneity to the experience for fans." The website promised more songs will be available for remix later, including Dylan's One of Us Must Know. Ms. Zadrolo said, "With legendary artists like Bob Dylan, his music can't be touched, can't be moved. This project lets us give the audience the power to rethink that notion." Kanye West recently phoned into the LA's Real 92.3 radio station to congratulate DJ Big Boy for his induction into the Radio Hall of Fame. During the quick chat, the two music buffs also discussed West's new upcoming album entitled Swish, the follow-up to his Jesus record in 2013. The Chicago rapper neglected to reveal details about the new album, saying that he didn't want to over-describe it or overly try to hype it up. "I've been working slow," the Go Digger artist told the show. He even revealed some of his other singles, such as 4 5 Seconds and Tell Your Friends, were meant for his LP, but he passed them off to artists like Rihanna and The Weeknd. Complex Magazine even reported that during an onstage interview with West's collaborator, Chet Pope, at the Red Bull Music Academy, Pope said that he, West, and Mike Dean produced the track for the single, and West was supposed to rap on it. During the radio conversation, the rapper likened his work on Switch to a sonic painting and said it sounded better and better every day. According to Billboard, West recently performed a piece from his 808s and Heartbreak LP for the California Hollywood Bowl in September. West told the radio host that the record became the sound of radio. Voices coaches and new couple Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani are working on a country music ballad. People magazine said the mid-tempo song is about someone urging their lover to leave the relationship if that is what will make them happy. It's not yet been recorded. An insider in the industry told the publication about the rocker, "It's amazing how good she sounds on a pretty country song." Sheldon and Stefani confirmed last week that they have been dating. Both parties recently broke up with their spouses. Sheldon and Miranda Lambert split up over the summer, and Stefani and Gavin Rosdale's divorce was finalized last month. The latest James Bond adventure, Spectrum, is the number one movie in the North American box office this weekend, earning $73 million, Run Track announced Sunday. Coming in at number 2 is the Peanuts movie, which made $45 million, followed by The Martian at number 3, which made $9.3 million. Goosebumps came in at number 4 with $7 million, and Bridges of Spies at number 5 with $6.1 million. Rounding out the top tier are Hotel Transylvania 2 at number 6 with $3.6 million, Burnt at number 7 with $3 billion, The Last Witch Hunter at number 8 with $2.7 million, The Intern at number 9 with $1.8 million, and Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension at number 10 with $1.7 million. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1990, Willie Nelson's assets are seized by the IRS. Internal Revenue Service spokeswoman Valerie Thornton told the New York Times in the autumn of 1991, "We try to work with taxpayers, and if we have to come up with some creative payment plan, that we're going to do it. That's what we're going to do because it is in everyone's best interest." The creative payment plan to which Ms. Thornton was referring in her statement to the Times involved a unique revenue-sharing agreement negotiation between the IRS and the beloved country singer Willie Nelson, who was then struggling to repay a $16.7 million tax debt that had led the federal government to seize all of his assets 1 year earlier, on this date in 1990. Willie Nelson landed himself in tax trouble as a result of investments he made in the early 1980s in a tax shelter later ruled illegal by the IRS. With interest and penalties on top of his original unpaid taxes, Nelson was facing a tax bill in excess of $16 million, and though his lawyers convinced the IRS to accept the $6 million cash payment to settle the entire debt, even this was more than Nelson was able to pay, despite being perhaps one of the most bankable country music stars of the day. His daughter Lana Nelson told Texas Monthly of her famously generous and free-spending father. He didn't have $1 million. He probably didn't have $30 million. In anticipation of negotiations with the IRS breaking down, Willie Nelson had his daughter remove his beloved guitar Trigger from his Texas home and ship it to him in Hawaii, where he was golfing when the feds raided his home on November 9th, 1990. Willie Nelson said, "As long as I got my guitar, I'll be fine." Ultimately, Nelson did get to keep his guitar and even got his Texas ranch back, but not before the government auctioned his home to the highest bidder in January 1991. That bidder, however, was a Nelson fan who purchased the ranch at the behest of a group of farmers who threw their support behind Nelson in thanks to his work in organizing Farm Aid charitable concerts. In June 1991, Nelson released a compilation album entitled The IRS Tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories, the first and perhaps the last major label recorded album ever released under a strict revenue sharing agreement with the Internal Revenue Service. While the revenues generated by the IRS tips did not come close to settling the debt on its own, Nelson did manage to retire his debt to the federal government by 1993. And that is your entertainment report for Monday, November 9th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.